Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Loud podcast. This is a Friday solo podcast episode with A. How the heck are you guys? I'm recording live, like I always do. So it is Friday, February 7th. Big weekend here, being Super Bowl weekend, which is super exciting. Neil is actually away in Montreal this weekend, but my parents are coming to stay and hang. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Phoebe has 3 basketball games. Piper has a basketball game. Alfie has training and flag football. It's just like, whoo, it's quite a full, beautiful weekend. Okay, but things are good over here. Progress is progressing with the gym. I'm in phase 2 of my workout program. And phase 1 was really just about getting back into the habit of going to the gym, getting used to the machines, getting through the whole like trauma of when you very first start lifting weights again and how that feels on your muscles, like getting past that. So I'm excited to crush phase 2. I've gone 3 times this week. I had gone how many times I had done 20 workout sessions in December, January. And so I set a goal to hit 16 in February. So that would require me to do 4 a week. So I'm excited to hit that goal and I'm on track this week. I've done 3. I'm going to do one more today. Um, the scale is trending down. I'm feeling stronger. So all is good. Like everything that I set out to do, I'm doing. My protein intake is increased. I'm definitely getting in more of a habit of just like little things, not having chocolate for dessert and having fruit. And there's nothing wrong with chocolate, guys, but obviously chocolate is more triggering to overeat than fruit. Fruit has extra nutrients. I'm really trying to do absolutely everything I can right now for my body and for my hormones. I always need to remind people of this is that hormones like run everything in your body and they use vitamins and minerals to function. Like that's so I'm giving them the best chance over here. Okay, by trying to just pack as much nutrients in my day as possible. I started ordering factor meals. I don't know for how long I'll like continue doing that. And I did start off with like 10 meals a week, but I don't need that many. But it was like such a good deal when you first sign up. You get like 25% off. So obviously it's just, anyways. So I think I'll probably go down to a box of 6. Loving them for my lunches. They're like a little bit like around 500 calories, 30 grams of protein. It's exactly what I need for a lunch. Quick, easy, boom. So I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, I just feel like I'm in a really good groove. And I'm on like, I just, everything just feels good. Everything is aligning. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm like doing this. I'm doing the damn thing. And holy moly, have I had to be patient for it though. Holy moly, have I had to be patient. And that's okay. It's worth it. But I'm pretty proud of myself when I really think about it. I'm like, you're 42, Alicia. You're getting up there. And you're really taking care of yourself. So that's like my personal update. Nothing really to report, which is good. I guess no news is good news. So I wanted to kind of talk about a hot topic today. So we opened up the Your Way Weight Loss Instagram to some questions, and we got some questions about stress, cortisol, holding on to fat when you're stressed. And I just really wanted to address it. I addressed it in my Instagram stories, but I find sometimes, the point can get lost. I really do love podcasts for like a long form conversation. So let's dig into the impact of stress on your weight loss journey. So, okay, here we go. Okay, before I dive into this, I need to tell you guys, and I'm going to remind you that if I seem passionate, it's because I am. I am not angry. I am not frustrated. Maybe a little frustrated, but not with you, with the diet industry, with the language and the information that you're being given. But the reason why I'm so passionate is because I cannot stand when people are feel broken, when people feel that they don't have access to success, when people don't understand what's actually going on in their bodies. Okay. That's what's really frustrating for me. And that's what's driving me to continue to push this message. Okay. So let's think about stress. All right. I also want to say that we all handle stress differently. We all have a different capacity for stress. Someone could look at a day in the life of Alicia and be like, oh my God, like I would be so stressed. Like there's so many things to do. Every single second is taken up. So many human beings need you at once. Like my cortisol would be so high. And someone else could look at my life and be like, oh, that is amazing. Like that's my dream life. So just like anything, we need to remember that stress is a feeling, and your perception of your level of stress is your perception. And it's based on your experiences, your education, your capacity, right? So I guess I just wanted to like preface that by say it's not like your body is just like, oh, we're stressed, check, like cortisol through the roof. Like we're all so different. So basically, what happens when we are stressed, there is a stress hormone called cortisol. Okay. And what can happen when your cortisol is high for extended periods of time is your testosterone can decrease. And when your testosterone decreases, your muscle mass might also decrease. And when your muscle mass decreases, your energy out decreases. Okay, you with me? High cortisol, lower testosterone, lower muscle mass, lower energy out. Let's talk quick about energy out again. So, energy out is the total amount of energy that your body requires to function every single day. So many people, when they think about weight loss, they just think about exercise when it comes to energy out. Well, I need to tell you that the bulk of your energy out, like I'm talking 90 to 95% of the energy out, does not come from exercise. And if you do not exercise, it doesn't mean you have zero energy out. Absolutely not. The bulk of your energy out in the run of a day is your body just functioning, your organs functioning, your brain working, digesting food. Right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm moving my arm. I'm burning energy by moving my arm. That's called NEAT. Okay. So 90% of your energy out has nothing to do with exercise. Okay. So when we're having this conversation, I just like want you to really take exercise off the table and just really think about energy out and then energy in. Energy in is obviously food and drink that contains energy, aka calories. Okay. So, all right. So we're energy in, energy out. We're talking about cortisol. Okay. So your muscle tone. Your muscle tone is huge when it comes to your total energy out. It requires more energy for muscle tissue to just do its thing than it does any other tissue. So again, this is why it's so, I hate saying like it's so important because like you need to choose it's important to you. Let's use a different word when it comes to like retaining your muscle as you age. Like it's a significant health marker. It could make a significant impact on your health. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to say it's so important that you weight train because it's only important if it's important to you. But I guess I do find it as my job to make sure people fully understand what muscle is doing for their body. So it's burning more energy just existing. Okay. And so that, how do you need to do that? Resistance training and higher protein. Okay. Boom. But that is not what this podcast is about. But so let's say that you are in a high stress situation and your weight loss stalls. Someone said to me, is it true that stress will basically like counterbalance a calorie deficit? The answer is no. Guys, by definition, creating a calorie deficit is more energy out than in. And if you have more energy out than in, you will lose fat. That is physics, literally physics. Okay. However, could, when you're in a chronic stressful situation, your energy out decrease and therefore you were no longer in a calorie deficit? Yes. Do you see why this is so important? Because it's like people think there's certain situations where calorie deficit doesn't work. It, guys, maybe there's something externally happening in your hormones or with medication or whatever, but if you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose fat. Okay. So now let's go back to this stressful situation. I also like to always use um, extreme examples for people. Sometimes we're in our little North American bubble and we're just like, obviously, I'm just so stressed. So I'm holding on to fat. I had someone, a person, tell them that because they were stressed, their body was holding on to fat. Okay. I want to think about one of the most stressful situation that I could imagine. I am a prisoner of war and I am being abused and starved. Okay. And I don't know when, and I'm alone in a cold room and it's been a year. Okay. Do you think those people are holding on to fat? Do those people come out of those situations with excess fat on their body? No. No matter, and I cannot think of a more stressful situation than that. Could, though, their energy out decrease as they are losing weight? Absolutely. But if they are in a calorie deficit, they will continue to lose fat. Does the rate decrease? Yes. But if you are in a calorie deficit, you'll lose fat. Get what I'm going? Is you picking up what I'm putting down here? So let's talk about stress though. And here's the piece. It's almost like people are like, oh, well, can't lose weight 'cause I'm stressed. Never mind. If you truly believe that your primary problem, like if you truly believe in your core, my problem to weight loss right now is my level of stress, amazing. You know the problem. Fix it. Focus on that. Put your energy there. If you really truly want change, put your energy there. And if you are in a chronic stress situation, I think that is the best place to put in your energy for your overall health and wellness and not creating a calorie deficit. Let's focus on the stress. Let's get this under control, and then let's maybe unlock a calorie deficit. But right now, if you feel like you're in a situation in your life where you are so stressed that your cortisol is so high that you're not losing weight, that's where we should put our focus. Now, I also want to address that when you are chronically stressed, it's very common that you're tired, you're not moving your body, you're turning to food and or alcohol for relief of your stress. You're maybe not doing the basics: sleep, hydration, nutrition. So again, let's take a step back and let's look big picture. And let's really put our CEO hats on. If you truly want change and you're like, I am so stressed, take a step back. Work on the stress, but what about the other stuff? Are you doing all the other things too? We're so quick in society to blame things. But yet we're not doing the basics that have been proven to reduce stress, to increase mental health, to increase your calorie deficit. Nutrition, sleep, water, movement. Are you doing the basics? So again, and guys, I am not here to hurt anyone's feelings. I am not here to make you feel bad. I am just here, and I'm not saying that every single person should do all of those things. I'm saying I would love to live in a world where every single person owns their choices. 3 months ago, when I was not lifting weights, I wasn't like, oh, don't have time or blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not prioritizing it. I wasn't doing all the things. I'm still not doing all the things. No one's doing all the things, right? And I know it's not because I can't, it's because I don't want to. It's because it's not a priority right now. So I just want to live in a world where people truly understand what is going on with their bodies and they are open to lifestyle changes first, and they are going to own the amount of effort that they are putting in. Okay. Now, I was also having a conversation with someone that said, I'm counting calories and I'm eating 1,500 calories every day. And I'm not losing weight. Should I lower my calories? And why does this kind of calorie counting come into this conversation is because people don't believe me when I tell them that they're eating more energy than they realize, or they don't believe me. The reason why they're not losing weight is because they're not creating a calorie deficit. And sometimes it leads them down a path of wanting to calorie count to increase your awareness. Well, here's the thing you need to understand about calorie counting. It is a tool. It's a tool for weight loss, okay? It is a very difficult tool to use accurately. You need to weigh and measure every single thing that enters your mouth for 14 days to get an accurate idea of what is actually going into your body. And even then, when you're using an app like MyFitnessPal, do you know that anyone can put chicken, 3 ounces, 100 calories in MyFitnessPal? Have you ever used MyFitnessPal and you go look for skinless, boneless chicken and there's like 100 calories to 300 calories? You're like, which one is it? Somewhere in between. I'll just guess. Okay. It's not a perfect system. A package, maybe the granola bar you're counting is 150 calories, so that's what the package says. Well, guess what? There's a variation in the product's weight by about 20%, which maybe it's not a big deal, extra 20, 30 calories. But if you're relying primarily, if you're relying only on calorie counting as your tool and every single thing that you're consuming is actually a little bit extra in the package, you could be over by hundreds of calories by the end of the day. Now, I really need to like dig into this one a little bit. Okay. So, first point that I really need to make so clear, calorie counting is extremely difficult to do accurately. There have been meta-analyses done. Okay. So, what that means is a bunch of studies. Okay. And they put all the results together and kind of find the average, like so they're not just looking at one study, they're looking at a bunch of studies. And when they took a bunch of studies on, they were seeing how much like the variation between what people are reported that they're consuming versus what they're actually consuming. And they, on average, people are underreporting by 60%. 60%. What that means is when you tell me you're consuming 1,500 calories a day, you're probably consuming 2,100 calories a day on average. And the people that were off by the most were women, overweight women in their 40s. Now, I don't know if that's because we're also like momming, working, all the things. And it's like, you know, I don't want to say it would have been easier for me in my 20s to count calories. I think if I was only feeding me, okay, I think if you're only feeding yourself, it might make calorie counting a little bit more accessible to you. Okay, a little bit less resistance between your lifestyle and calorie counting, but it still sucks. It's still hard. Okay. So I've a lot to say about calorie counting. So we're not done yet, everyone. But the point I really want to get across that it is extremely difficult to do accurately. And that's just a day at home. Like it's difficult to do like, okay, how much does my egg weigh? Crazy, you guys, but each egg is not exactly 70 calories, right? So even at home, only cooking for yourself, it's still a lot. Okay. And then what about life? What about when there's food in the staff room? What about when you go to eat? What about when you're standing in the pantry putting crackers down? You're like, ah, shit, how many crackers did I eat? Okay. Calorie counting is an extremely difficult tool to do accurately. And that is one of the reasons why we do not teach our members to calorie count, because it is a tool that does not fit well with real life. When you're sick, when you're tired, when you're moving, when you're sad, when you're stressed, when you're on vacation, when you're busy. Okay. So that's not a tool that works everywhere. You can't use that tool everywhere. Okay. So that tool is very, very difficult to use. On top of that, it's used commonly, but used incorrectly. So then what happens is you think you're consuming 1,500 calories a day and you're not losing weight and you feel broken and you think you need to eat 1,200 calories a day. And that is a sad, sad life. Okay. So I just wanted to really unpack how difficult calorie counting is to do accurately, because I don't want you guys feeling frustrated. Now, there's other reasons why we don't love calorie counting. So, it can lead to disordered eating around food. So, just really looking at food as like a number game, feeling anxiety around certain food that you cannot count. It almost teaches you to ignore your hunger cues. So, you have more calories left. So, you eat even though you're not hungry. You're hungry, but you don't have any calories left. So, you don't eat. Like, there are a lot of consequences to counting calories. Now, again, everyone's different. Some people could count calories and it would not impact their relationship with food. They might not start playing the numbers game and like, ooh, how can I consume the least amount of calories humanly possible and still like exist in my world, have enough energy to exist. That's not what we're here for. Okay. We're here to build a beautiful life. So I just really wanted to address that because that did come up as a part of the conversation when someone said, I think my cortisol's too high and because I'm consuming 1,500 calories and I'm not losing weight. And 99.9% of the time, the problem is that you're actually not consuming 1,500 calories. Okay. And now maybe you guys are listening to this and you're like, okay, great. Like, now what? Does this mean I have to like weigh and measure my food? So that's not what I'm saying. I'm definitely not saying, okay, if you're going to calorie count, you got to do blah, 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 blah. There's another way, you guys. You start to build your framework. You start to build your lifestyle. You start to build your habits. And you are like, huh, if I follow this framework most of the time, I'm going to lose weight. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to have coffee in the morning. I'm going to measure my creamer. Okay. When we create calorie awareness at your weight loss, we're not just like freeballing it. We're not just like going about my life. We're still increasing our calorie awareness. But the difference between calorie counting, calorie awareness is I'm educating myself, but I'm not aiming for a certain number. My goal is not to total my calories at the end of a day. My goal is just to increase awareness where it is easiest for me to do, where it is accessible for me to do. And creating calorie awareness is enough to help you see where extra energy is coming in. And then you focus on creating a different habit around that. Okay. So you're measuring your creamer, you're portioning out your lunch. When you go to Subway, you're just looking at the menu and you're like, oh my gosh, funny, I didn't realize this sub was 700 calories. Oh, if I just take the cheese off, I would save 50 calories. That's worth it to me. That's a change I'm willing to make. Do you see how easy it can actually be? Okay. Oh, I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. The whole point was to not hurt your feelings. Um, but the point was for you to feel you have control. That is my goal on this earth, for you to feel like whatever you are looking to achieve, that it is accessible to you, that you can unlock it, that the key, the secret to it all is having your CEO hat on and being like, what can I control? What is going on right now? Make a plan, implement your plan, and adjust. That's literally it. And don't give up. Okay. Okay, you guys, you know that my DMs are always open. If any of this like really connected with you, grabbed you, you want to ask me anything clarifying about this, I am so happy to support you in that. Send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram name is Alicia, so Alicia underscore YWWL. I hang out most on Instagram. So come see me there. Ask me any of your questions, and I would be happy to address them and clear anything up. And again, I just want the best for you guys. I want you to live the most fulfilled, content, happy, beautiful, full, thriving life. That is my goal here with this podcast and this content. Okay, everyone, have an amazing weekend.